Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Wrestling Stand. My name is Gaz, and I want to talk to you about John Cena. He had his retirement match last night, and originally I was going to do a video leading up to this match talking about John Cena, my thoughts on Cena from being a fan as long as I have, but I held out because I wanted to see what happened last night in his final match. And I know I may seem very biased here, being a John Cena fan as long as I have, since 2003 up until now, preferring his Doctor of Thugonomics gimmick. That 2004 to 2005 Doctor of Thugonomics era for me was my favourite era of John Cena. Being around 14 to 15 years old at the time, some of the things John Cena would come out and rap about, like naughty words he would say, it was the cool hip thing at the time. And every single week I made sure I was there, watching SmackDown, hoping to see Cena, watching him win the US title, and then the WWE title, and then just everything in between. So this isn't so much as a review of his final match, this is more an overview of how I feel towards John Cena. My thank you to John Cena for giving me many memories of him over the years. I got to originally see John Cena in 2003 when he was just starting out his Doctor of Thugonomics gimmick when he was a heel. And there was an event called Tour de Force, which was in the UK at Cross Harbour, an arena that's not actually there anymore. But I remember that it's the first time I'd seen John Cena, and he was just really cool, even as a heel. Back before I knew a lot of things about faces and heels and stuff like that. But it was the music, it was the things he would come out with, and just that hip kind of thing that you like as a teenager. And I would actually go on to see him once again. That was in around, I believe, 2007. It was at the time John Cena was feuding with Edge and Triple H, when Edge had Lita by his side. But mainly 2004 to 2005. I remember that era specifically because I was at that TV screen every single week, waiting for SmackDown just to see John Cena. And even though I liked Brock Lesnar, I like Brock Lesnar a lot more now than I did back then. It was Cena's gimmick. It was the rapping. It was the name of his finishing move, the FU, for obvious reasons. It was the shoulder brush off, the pumping of the Reeboks, him coming out with like the chain, the brass knucks, the jerseys, the throwback caps. It was just the look, the presentation of Cena, the entrance music, his style. It was all of that. It was all of that made me really love the character of John Cena then. And obviously I know things changed with Cena as the years went on, because he ended up dropping the rapping gimmick, and it was about then hustle, loyalty, and respect, and never give up. And I know people would boo Cena out the building because, they like that whole gimmick, and it was like John Cena just changed to something that just seemed a more, to many people, boring version of himself. The music changed. I didn't, even to this day, don't mind My Time Is Now theme song, but I do prefer the basic Thugonomics theme song for Cena. And I remember like the feuds with him going in with The Rock. The Rock was the first ever wrestler I actually saw when I became a wrestling fan back in 2000. In the 2000 Royal Rumble, that was the first actual event I ever saw. And I didn't like how Cena was acting going into that feud. and actually at that time wanted Cena to lose that match because I thought maybe Cena would go back to his old ways, which obviously didn't happen, was never gonna happen, apart from I think there was 2 appearances where Cena came out. It was just 2 special occasions, which was against The Rock in a promo, and when he came out against to interrupt Elias at WrestleMania. I can't remember which year it was, but he interrupted Elias and came out as a doctor of thugonomics as a one-off. So all of that was great, but leading up to the last year, knowing Cena was going to retire, I wish he didn't turn heel. Because as cool as it was at the time, it got ruined. It wasn't good. I didn't enjoy it. I wish he just stayed a babyface all the way through this run. And up until the match last night with Gunther now, I know there was many rumours going around he was going to face Gunther. In that case, Gunther comes back, he wins the last time he's now tournament to face Cena. And I have to admit, and I don't want to get hate for this, but you got to be honest when you talk on this stuff. John Cena, for me, never should have tapped out last night to Gunther. It should have never ever happened. Over 20 years of never giving up, telling people never give up. And they have him tap out with a smile on his face. He doesn't get pinned, he doesn't pass out, but he taps out. And that whole arena, I'm not going to repeat what they were chanting and what they were saying to Triple H, but that whole arena said how they felt. And I don't disagree with any of it. It's fair enough if John Cena has to lose, because, I know it's a completely different company, completely different booker. Sting went out on top. He retired as a champion in his retirement. And they couldn't just have John Cena, who did the job for Dominic Mysterio a couple of weeks before, just have a victory on his way out. Gunther wouldn't have got hurt by it. They could have found a way to book him. Still good. Even going into a feud with Brock Lesnar, which is probably going to happen, they could have still made him strong. This is a guy that tapped out to Jey Uso in 5 seconds. He's previously lost to Cody Rhodes, lost to Sami Zayn, lost to CM Punk. And he goes in and does the one thing that nobody's been able to do to John Cena in around 19 to 20 years. And John Cena just taps out with a smile on his face. And a lot of people are agreeing with it tonight. A lot of people are disagreeing with it. People are happy. People are angry. I just feel it just hurt to see it happen the way it did. Having a smile on his face. It almost seemed like a smile or a smirk on his face while he did it. Watching him in matches against Chris Benoit in the past, Randy Orton, Chris Jericho, Kurt Angle, and he hasn't tapped out since 2005, I believe it was. And he's not given up to anybody in that time. He was in a match with Randy Orton, where Randy Orton beat the ever-living shit out of him with weapons, kendo sticks, handcuffed to a turnbuckle, being whipped the crap out of with kendo sticks. John Cena doesn't give up. In an I Quit match. Still remember that. But tonight, no, I'll smile and just tap out. It was nice to see everybody come out at the end to show respect to Cena, because everybody's been showing respect to Cena on videos, interviews. It's been nice to see. It just really sucks to see that that's the way John Cena went out. Maybe he wanted to go out that way. Maybe he was the one that chose to do this. I don't know. I don't know if Triple H was the one that decided it would happen. If John Cena decided, no, look, it's time, and I want to do this for Gunther. And if that's the case, then he would have had the right to do that. He deserves that right after what he's given for the company all this times, for all this time, I should say. And like I said, this isn't me just sounding bitter. It's just how I hoped Cena would have went out. You know, people, just because I wasn't in person at every live event seeing Cena, I still followed and watched his career every single week on every show. See him watching every pay-per-view. You know, all these years, it's a long time. It's a very long time. Through the ups, through the downs, through him going away, doing movies. I haven't seen all of his movies. One of my favourite movies of his is The Marine. But this is it. After 23 years, Cena's officially retired. And I just want to say thank you, John Cena, for the memories over the years, for the times you made me laugh, times you made me happy. I'm grateful I got to see you in person a few times. All the things you did in the Make-A-Wish for all the children. Just everything you gave to me and gave to everyone. I wish you well on everything you do going forward. And you may never wrestle again, but hopefully we'll see you back sometime in WWE. From me, thank you, Cena.